Hello, I'm Milan. I've been a driving instructor for 26 years, and for the last 22 years I've been training people to become driving instructors. I've also co-produced and written training material that's used by driving instructors and learners across the UK. So this video is reverse bay park faults and fixes. If you want to learn how to reverse bay park, look at part 1. So one of the problems could be you've turned too early and you're going into the bay before the one you intended to park in. So how you fix it is you quickly remove the steering that you've applied, take off the full lock, and that straightens your vehicle and brings it more into line with the bay you intend to park in. And once you've lined up with that bay, you put the full lock back on, park in the bay, and then take off the full lock to straighten the front wheels. So another mistake could be you've turned too late or turned too slowly, and you're going past the bay you intended to park in and partially going into the bay after. So what I'll be doing to fix that is I'll be stopping, checking for people in traffic, moving forwards and straightening the front wheels to bring the back of the car in line with the bay, because it was going to miss. I'm going to bring the back of the car in line with the bay I want. Still checking for people in traffic. I want to put the full lock back on and bring the back of the car into the bay I intended to park in. Another problem could be you've parked in the bay, but you're not quite central. Now, for the purpose of the driving test, you can leave it as it is because the requirement is to be within the white lines. But in the real world, if you've gone shopping and you're parking somewhere, you're leaving your car unattended, you want to try and leave your car central, because if you park it too close to one side or the other, you could get damage from another vehicle, it'd be difficult to get in or out. So I'll be showing you a technique where you move forwards and steer half a turn in the direction you want to go in. So if you want the car to move to the left, you're going to steer half a turn to the left. That brings the front of the vehicle over. You then take off the half turn and do a half turn to the right, which brings the back of the car in line with the front. And once the vehicle is straight, you straighten the front wheels by taking that half turn back off. Again, back into reverse, checking for people in traffic, going to reverse back into the bay, more central. Okay, so now I'm going to do a demonstration of the fixes for the reverse bay park. Okay, so I'm in my start position. I'm checking all around for people in traffic, and I'm going to reverse back until the end of my car reaches the bay before the one I want. But let's say for some reason I've got distracted by something, I've turned a bit too early, so I put my full lock on and it looks like I'm going to cut into the bay before the one I want. So I can see that in my door mirror. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause, check for people in traffic. I'm going to take off the full lock to realign the back of the car with the bay I want, which I can see in the door mirror I'm lining up now. And when it's safe, I'm still checking around, I'm going to put the full lock back on to bring the vehicle into the bay. And as I come in, I'm still checking around for people in traffic. And as I come parallel into the bay, I'm using both my door mirrors here. And as the car gets parallel, I quickly take off the steering. I'm looking over my right shoulder now to see the end of the bay in the corner of my window. And then I'm going to stop there. So I'm in my start position, about 4 bays past the bay I want. I'm checking around, making sure it's safe in all directions. I'm reversing back. And on this occasion, what's happened is maybe I've got distracted, I've turned a bit too late or I've turned a bit too slow. And as I turn and I start bringing the vehicle in, I realize I'm cutting into the bay next to. So I've gone wide, I'm going into the bay past the one I wanted. So I'm going to stop, make sure it's safe in all directions, go into first gear or drive, move forward and take off my full lock. And that brings the back of the car into line with the bay I want. When it's safe, when I see that I'm in line with it, I can now put it back into reverse gear, check around. As I start reversing back, I'm putting the full lock back on and reversing into my bay. And as I start dropping into the bay, I can see the lines either side are parallel. I quickly take off the full lock and I reverse back into the bay. Still checking in all directions, making sure I'm not going to hit the wall behind me or the curb, and then stop. So let's imagine we've finished parking and we're too close to one side. So on this occasion, we're very close to the white line on the right-hand side. Now, if this were a driving test and you're within the bay, you could leave it as it is because the requirement is to be within the white lines. But if we were going shopping here, we wouldn't want to leave the car too close to either side, because if someone parked next to you, there's a risk of not being able to open the door or someone hitting your door and damaging your vehicle. Okay, so I'm going to check to the right and the left for people and traffic. I'm going to open my window just in case I can hear a vehicle coming. And I'm doing half a turn to the left. That's moving the front of the vehicle over. I'm straightening, doing half a turn to the right. And you can see in the camera there that the vehicle is now central. Okay, so I'm now going to reverse. I'm checking around for people in traffic. I'm looking over my right shoulder, reversing in a straight line back into the bay, knowing now that my vehicle is central between the lines. So just to recap the reverse bay parking. So throughout the maneuver, I'm keeping the car really slow. I'm checking around for people in traffic. I'm responding to any oncoming road users. I'm moving very slowly, but steering very quickly.